Today's show, we're going to talk about potential trade targets for the Browns in exchange for their second-round pick. So 5 players I have identified that Andrew Berry could go out and trade for using that 42nd overall pick in the draft. So before we even look at any of the names, I'm going to make you wait for just a second here and kind of go back in a time machine, because a lot of people get afraid and get scared about trading picks away from rounds 1 and round 2. And I get that. I do understand it. I'm one of those people too. But just go back in time for a second. The 2019 draft. Look at the picks around pick 42 where the Browns will be picking, because I think we can grade these guys now. I see F, B-, F, C, A. Some good, some not so good. You know what's consistent, though? They're not all A's. They're not even all A's and B's. There are some bad picks right there. Go back another year prior. What about 2018? Got some better picks. B, A, B-, but I also have 2 D's. The point I'm making here is that it's a crapshoot. So the idea of giving up a second-round pick and then going, oh, that second-round pick, that was going to be an amazing player. What are the Browns thinking? If you can get proven talent for a second-round pick, which looks to be about a 50 or so % hit rate, you know, maybe a little bit higher, maybe a little bit lower, but far from what we actually probably think it is, I think Andrew Berry will take that opportunity. Plus, he kind of did it last year. So to everyone out there saying there's no way the Browns are going to trade their second-round pick, they don't have a first, they don't want to go that long without picking. What about last year? Look at this 2022 draft trade where Cleveland made another deal with Houston and moved out of pick 44 in order to not pick again until pick 68. So I think we can kind of put to bed the idea of there's no way the Browns would trade their second-round pick away and then not pick until round 3. They quite literally did it a season ago. So now, let's look at some trade targets, and we're going to start with my favorite, and that is DeForest Buckner, the do-it-all man for the Indianapolis Colts on the defensive line. I am guessing the Colts are looking for a hard reset, and DeForest Buckner could be moved in order to break down some of their key players and get some assets in return and get some picks and sort of reset and really rebuild through the draft. Now, Indy is probably on the phone right now with Chicago trying to get up to that number 1 overall pick. And if that happens, I could see Buckner being a part of that deal. But if he is not a part of that deal, I definitely want Andrew Berry to be inquiring with the Colts about what it would take to get Buckner to the land. Now, one thing I love about DeForest Buckner is his availability. He's only missed 2 games in his entire career, and he has been consistently good. Since he came over from the 49ers in that big trade back in 2019, 9.5 sacks, 7 sacks, 8 sacks. We're not talking about your prototypical defensive end outside linebacker. No, he often lines up inside. He's great against the pass rush, but he can also stop the run as well. Now, DeForest Buckner's contract looks like this. His base salary for 2023 is $18 million. I really doubt the Colts want to pay him $18 million when they are clearly looking to rebuild and go young. His cap hit, his dead cap hit that is actually, is 0, meaning Indianapolis can cut him and not owe him a dime. So with that, they probably will move on from him the same way the Cowboys were going to cut Amari Cooper until the Browns swooped in and make sure they got him before he hit the open market. Buckner is not going to be on the Colts next year. I almost want to guarantee it. I won't do a polar plunge because that one's a little too close for comfort. But I will say, does Cleveland want to leave it up to chance that if he hits the open market and he hits free agency, he'll go to the Browns? Buckner's good. He's going to have suitors. He's going to have teams calling. And similar to Amari Cooper, maybe Andrew Berry doesn't want to take the chance on waiting to sign him in free agency. Maybe he wants to get a deal done and trade for him and just absolute guarantee that he gets his guy. So what say you? Would you trade a second-round pick for DeForest Buckner? I would, yes. I'm putting my Y for yes. Let me know what you're thinking down below in the comment section. Another player on the defensive line. What about Vita Vea? A pair of first-round picks right there. Vita Vea, of course, one of the best interior defensive linemen in the game. And the Bucs are another team, in my opinion, that could be looking to retool a little bit, reset, and go for a rebuild after the end of the Tom Brady era. He is one of the best run-stopping tackles in the NFL. That's not new information. If you didn't know that already, congratulations. His Pro Football Focus rank in 2022 was 47th out of 127th. The highest highest Cleveland Browns player was in the 80s with Taven Bryan. Yikes. Vita Vea in 2022, by the way, 31 tackles, 7 for loss, 6.5 sacks. The pass rush abilities of him for a 350-pound monster is off the charts for what people expected when they drafted him in the first round, and a forced fumble to go along with it. This is another player I would give up a second-round pick for because he would be an immediate starter. Same for DeForest Buckner. I can't say the same for that second-round pick. As we saw at the start of the video, some of them were, but some of them aren't. And I'm not willing to, hold on to a lottery ticket that might cash in when I know there's a guaranteed starter right there like Vita Vea. And if the Bucs want to take a second-round pick as they look to rebuild and reset, sign me up. All right, today's show, by the way, made possible by our sportsbook partner, BetUS. The Super Bowl right around the corner. That's why you got to use chatsports.com/bet and use promo code Browns125. When you do, they'll give you a 125% deposit bonus. Now, some Super Bowl props, anytime touchdown scorer. I also realize as I say this, we're filming it during our live show, which is on Thursday. I plan on running this video before the Super Bowl, but if it ends up going afterwards, well, maybe you already made some money off of Travis Kelce minus 155. There's just no way he's not scoring a touchdown, right? He just is. So that's free money right there, guaranteed pretty much. Chatsports.com/bet, promo code Browns125. Let's run through these next 3 trade targets, starting with Tyler Lockett, Jeudy, and then, of course, the elusive DeAndre Hopkins. So we'll bunch these 3 wide receivers together because in 2022, you probably didn't expect it, but Tyler Lockett continues to be the most underappreciated receiver in football. Another 1,000-yard receiving season for him. Even with Geno Smith at quarterback, when everyone, including myself, thought the Seahawks would suck, Tyler Lockett still puts up phenomenal numbers. So, before I tell you which receiver I would like to see the Browns go out and trade for, giving up a second-rounder, if a trade happens, we'll be going live here at the channel most likely. We'll be getting a video out to you, which is why you don't have to always be subscribed, or not only subscribed, but you got to be a part of the Noti game. You got to click that notification bell right there. That way, when a trade goes down and a video goes out, you are in the loop ASAP. So make sure you got those noties on if you don't already. That way, you don't miss out a single thing on your Cleveland Browns. So let's get back to talking about those 3 wide receivers. If I had to pick one of them, got to be DeAndre Hopkins, right? Hopkins is just too good to pass up on. I've said before, he's not what the Browns need. They need speedy slot receiver, which would signal Tyler Lockett or Jeudy more than DeAndre Hopkins. But if I'm sitting at a bar and we're having a beer and we're talking shop, we're talking football, and those 3 receivers are in front of me and I got to pick one, how you passing on D-Hop, right? Even if Lockett or Jeudy fills this offense more, and I think like 2-week-old Matthew would be yelling at current Matthew right now, but just those 3 guys, like D-Hop, that's a Madden offense. If you got Hopkins, Cooper, Chubb, and Watson with Njoku and DPJ to go along with it, all 3 would be great in my opinion. I'll circle back on the Jeudy idea. I just don't see why Denver does it without getting a first-round back, which the Browns do not have. Lockett, maybe. He's got a big contract, though, Tyler Lockett. I don't see why the Seahawks would be dying to eat a lot of dead money when they just went to the playoffs. And they probably aren't in the mindset of they're going to start rebuilding, which they would do if they wanted to trade Lockett. Hopkins, he's done in Arizona. They're definitely looking to reset a little bit and go younger. So Hopkins is most likely to get traded of the 3 of them anyway. But at the end of the day, I still don't know if I would love to give a second-rounder for Hopkins, but if I had to pick one of those 3, I would go D-Hop. So pick a trade for me. Buckner, Vea, Lockett, Jeudy, Hopkins. Just type the number of the trade you would like to do down in the comment section below. I'm typing 1. I love DeForest Buckner. I think he's a great player. Vita Vea is not far behind. I definitely lean over the 3 wide receivers, one of those 2 interior defensive linemen, because I think we all kind of remember the idea of trading for Deshaun Watson is, yes, you need help at wide receiver, but let's not act like they have no wide receivers. They have Amari Cooper. They have Donovan Peoples-Jones, but they definitely don't have defensive tackles. So that's why I would go Buckner or Vita Vea. So a new thing we're starting at the channel, this is the second or third video of doing it now, I can't remember, is our end of the video crew. So if you make it to the end of the video, spam or comment a random Browns player, and we'll pick one to go on show on the screen. Today's random Browns player is an all-timer. It is Turkey Jones. Yeah, known mostly for that kind of head slam, body slam with Terry Bradshaw, but he's a Browns legend. So, you know what, Turkey Jones, you are our random Browns player of the day.